Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel and this is Sans Flow. Today I want to do a beginner's sequence. So this is for those of you who haven't really tried much yoga, you're brand new to it, or if you have tried it but you haven't really kept up with it and just want to take it back to the basics a little bit and coming back to your practice. So grab your mat, slip those socks off, and we'll get started. So we're just going to start at the top of our mat in mountain pose. So really grounding down through the feet. Just start to come into your stance. Spreading the toes. Feeling the feet as they connect to the mat. Roll the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale down the back, palms face forward. Firm up the thighs. Press into the heels, lift up through the chest. And just start to connect with the breath in and out of the nose. This breath is life. This breath is what gives you the awareness to settle down, slow down, tuning into your body. And the breath is the most important part of yoga. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, look up. And then exhale, we're going to swan dive down. Heart leads the way, so arms out and fold over the legs. You can always have a little bend in the knees. And just let the upper body hang over the thighs. You can rock from side to side here. Feeling the backs of the legs open up, the lower back. Bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine and the chest forward. Draw the belly in. Exhale, fold back over the legs. Reach the arms out and up, bend the knees all the way up to standing. Big inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, go right back down. Swan dive, heart leads the way. Hands to shins, inhale, flat back, look forward. Belly firms up here. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Hug the thighs into the bone, fire up the core, look forward, inhale. Exhale, drop the knees, fingers spread on your mat. We're going to lower down to our belly through low push-up. So the elbows go straight back and the heart leads the way. Lowering down with control all the way to the belly. Good, lengthen the legs out of the hips, press into the tops of the feet, shoulders draw down the back, and inhale, lift up through the chest. Cobra, tuck the toes, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So in our down dog, feet are hip distance apart. You're really pressing the hands into the mat. Spread the fingers, grip the mat. You can bend the knees, press the chest back towards the thighs. And then go towards straightening the legs. Pressing down through the heels. Shoulder blades draw together on the back. One more breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Look forward, rise onto your tippy toes, and step your feet all the way up to your hands. flat back, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Arms reach out and up back to tall mountain. Inhale. Reach high. Exhale, right back down. One more like that. Swan dive down. Flat back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to your plank pose. Inhale, look forward, hug the core in. Drop the knees, lower down to your belly with control. Elbows go straight back. Low push up. Good. Inhale, roll those shoulders back. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Feel some strength in the lower back here as you press into the hands even. Tuck the toes, hips up and back, your downward facing dog. And take 2 more really nice breaths. And draw the belly in. And press back through the backs of the knees. Inhale, rise onto the tippy toes, look forward, and start to walk those feet up to the hands. Flat back, inhale, lengthen the spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms out and up, reach up, tall mountain. Lengthen the body. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Back to our mountain pose, so fingertips drop down, palms face forward. Firm up the thighs, lift up through the chest. Tuck the tailbone under. And just feel how tall you can stand. Feel your feet pressing into the mat. One more full breath here. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Good. We're going to step open with the right leg. So step out wide on your mat. So the back foot's parallel with the back edge of the mat. The front toes are pointing forward. So hips are square here to the side of your mat. Coming into our triangle pose. So really have a wide stance here. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, you're going to reach forward with that left arm. Left hip tucks under the right. So keep reaching forward as far as you can. Press into the back foot really strong. So that's your stable point. It's holding you really sturdy. And then exhale, drop that left hand down to the left shin. Right arm up to the sky. Keep opening the chest. Big breath. Keep pressing equally into both feet. And shoulders are stacked. And with that top hand, let it lift you up and out of the pose. Inhale. Arms back out to your T. We're going to sink down warrior 2. So bend into that front knee. Keep pressing equally through both feet. Notice if your front knee starts to fold inward and just draw it back towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Sink into your pose. Gazing over that front hand. Draw the belly in, tuck the tailbone under just a little bit. Flip that front palm, facing it up to the sky. Drop the back hand down to the back thigh. Inhale, reach that front arm up to the sky. Staying low in the legs. Good. Exhale back to warrior two. Start to straighten that front leg. And we're going to try to step up to the top of our mat as gracefully as possible. So bend into that front leg. Step up to the top of your mat. Good. Spread the toes. Feet are hip distance apart. Press into the mat. We're going to sink the hips, raise the arms for chair. So sweep the arms down behind you, all the way up. Lift up through the arms, through the chest, and keep sinking down through the legs. Chair pose. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stand up tall, reach tall. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Good. We're going to open up again. So stepping out with the right leg. But we want to face the back this time. So back foot or left foot comes parallel with the back edge of the mat. And your right toes point forward. So once again, wide stance. You want to take up a lot of space on your mat. So coming into our triangle pose. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, reach with that front arm as far as you can forward, tucking the right hip under the left. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Notice if you start to get a big arch, and you want to keep that minimal. So keep tucking under, pressing through the back foot. Right hand down to the shin, left arm up to the sky. Find the breath. You can do anything for 3 breaths, so just 3 more breaths. Your gaze can be down to help with your balance. It can be up if you want to test your balance. Or it can be forward at just a neutral neck. With that top hand, let it lift you up and out of the pose. Inhale. Reach up tall. Exhale, sink down into that right knee. Exhale, lower down. Keep equal weight pressing back into the back foot and to the front foot. Shoulders drop down away from the ears. Gazing over the right hand. Stay with the breath. Spread the toes of that front foot. So you know that foot's grounded and sturdy. Keep drawing that right knee back. Flip the right palm up to the sky. Left hand drops back. Inhale, reach it up. Reverse warrior. Look up. Exhale, back to warrior two. Good. Straighten that front leg. Hands to the hips. Pivot the feet. Left toes point forward. And once again, gracefully step up to the top of your mat. Good. Chair pose. Inhale the arms. Sink the hips. Like you're sitting back in a chair. We want to keep that arch out of the back. So tuck the tailbone under, lift up through the chest and core, hug it all in. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Good. So we're going to come into a little bit of a balancing pose. So shifting into our tree pose. You want your feet to be about together. Firm up the thighs, press down through the heels, hands at heart center. And just start to shift your weight forward. So leaning forward, weight coming onto the toes, but the heels stay grounded. And then start to shift your weight back into the heels, just a little shift. Notice how the thighs have to firm up. Toes get a little light. And then shift it back to center. Notice what that center line feels like. Notice how balanced and just sturdy you feel here. So bringing the hands at heart, we're going to ground down through the left foot. So the left thigh gets really strong. Bend the right knee so the toes come to the mat. And then open it up. So start to peel that right knee open. Keeping those toes on the mat. Let your gaze be set ahead of you. Draw the hip points in, draw the belly in, the core, everything hugs to that midline. Spread the toes of that left foot so you know it's grounded. You can stay here working on your balance, or if you want to go a little bit further, you can start to bring that foot up into the calf. Keep drawing that knee back, using the glutes, the lower back. No matter where you're at, if you want to test your balance, you can reach your arms up, growing your branches. And maybe your gaze lifts as well. And if you're feeling really sturdy here and you want to go into a full tree pose, you can bring that foot up into the thigh, never the knee. Keep drawing that knee back. You can come out and into this pose as many times as you need. Noticing what that standing foot wants to do. Good. Start to exhale, unwind, bring that knee back around to center. Press through the heel, straightening that leg, and then drop it down. Good. Sink the hips, raise the arms, chair pose. Inhale. And exhale, hands down through heart center and fold over the legs. Good. Put a little bend in the knees. Reach the arms out and up, back up to tall mountain. And hands down through heart center. Moving on to tree pose, other side. So feet hip distance apart. Tuck the tailbone under, firm up the thighs. Let your core, your hips get strong here. Hands are at heart center so you feel everything hugging into your midline. Set your gaze and then start to bend that left knee, opening it out to the side. So you can stay rooted with those left toes. And start to play with the firmness of that right leg. How strongly you stand on it. Once you've got your balance, if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can bring that foot into the calf. Lifting out of the hips, lift the chest. Growing your branches, bringing that energy up with the hands, inhaling tall. Lifting your gaze if you want to challenge your balance. And coming into your fullest expression of the pose. That can be grounded, that can be at the calf, that can be at the thigh. Noticing where you feel stable. Letting the breath flow freely. Noticing if that standing foot wants to shift forward onto the toes, back, maybe the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot. Just staying aware with your tendencies. And then try to even that out. Try to send that weight down through all corners of the foot. And even spread across the foot so you're just grounded and rooted and sturdy. Another full breath. Let it be your calmest one yet. And start to draw that knee back into the center. Press through the heel and drop it down. Good. You can walk the feet out. You can rise onto the tippy toes. You can lift up the toes. Good. Ground the feet. Sink the hips. Raise the arms. Chair pose. Inhale. And exhale. Fold. Flat back. Lengthen. Hands to shins. Long spine. And exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. So hips up and back. Press through the hands, grip the mat with the fingers. And then dropping down to the knees, find a tabletop. So wrists want to be directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Spread the fingers, engage the arms, turn the eyes of the arms, so the underneath of the elbows, or the insides of the elbows, turn them towards each other. So you're really engaging, you're gripping the arms, and we're hugging muscle to bone. So we're using the muscles here, not just stacking bones and relying on our joints. We're going to start to stretch back through that right leg. Draw the belly in, firm up the core. Inhale, float that right heel so it's parallel with the mat. Keep drawing everything in, round the back a little bit so you're really strong. And we're going to come to balance, so left arm, reach it forward. Stay with the breath, one more. Keep pressing through the heel and reaching through the fingers. And exhale, drop back down, find your tabletop. Moving into a cat-cow. So cow pose. You inhale, start to drop the belly, spread the chest, gaze up. Cat, exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail, press through the arms. Shoulder blades press up to the sky, chin tucks in to the chest. Inhale back to your tabletop. Good. Other side. So spread the fingers once more, and you can send some of that weight, not just into your wrist. So if you need to sit back onto your heels for a moment, when you first start yoga, it can be really tough on the wrists. So checking in with that, noticing anytime you need to take a break to roll out those wrists. But then also in our poses, coming back into your tabletop, notice if all your weight's just resting on the wrists. See if you can shift that weight into the palms, into the fingertips, a little bit more forward. So it's not just the wrist taking the blunt of that stress. So once you've got that grip, weight into the fingers, start to stretch back through the left leg. Hug the core in, firm up your center, float the heel up, parallel with the mat. Right arm, reach it forward up by the ear. Inhale. Exhale, hug the belly. Inhale, lengthen. Then drop down to your tabletop. Spread the knees as wide as your mat. Big toes come together to touch. Sink the hips back for child's pose. Forehead rests down onto the mat. Reach the arms forward. And exhale, sink down in. Letting the chest, the heart, the armpits, letting them just drop down in between the thighs. Inhale, spread the fingers, engage the arms, start to lift up through the elbows. And then inhale, rise back up to your tabletop. And then we're just going to sit back, swivel the legs around so you're seated and legs are forward. So Dandasana, the most active sitting pose. So pull some of that flesh out so you're really sitting on the sit bones. Straighten the legs, draw the toes back towards you, hands down by the body. Lift up through the chest, shoulders drop down away from the ears. Take another inhale here. And draw the belly in, feel how active. Good. Bring that right knee in or out and in. We're going to come to our seated tree. So that foot comes to the thigh, knees starting to drop out. So just like our tree pose, but sitting down. So you inhale, lift up through the chest. Make sure that left leg stays active. Exhale, start to fold forward. Letting the hands rest wherever they land. Keep pressing down with that left leg. And folding, releasing. And if you can reach your foot, great. You can hold on to it as you draw yourself down, but that's not necessarily the goal. A lot of times I like to just have my hands, my arms resting on the mat as I continue to fold and focusing on the breath. Start to lift your gaze, lift your heart, your chest, press the hands into the mat as you lift back up to seated. And bring that knee into center. So hug the knee into the chest. Leo says hi. And step that foot across the leg. So keep the left leg firm and pressing into the mat. Inhale, lift up through the spine. And bring the right hand back behind the body. We're moving into a twist. And in order for that spine to twist as it should, it has to be really long. The vertebrae have to be separated and spacious. So lengthening through the spine, keep pressing down through that left leg. Right hand reaches behind the back. Left arm hooks around that right thigh. So elbow to knee, hand to thigh. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, draw the belly button in as you start to twist from that center. Bringing the twist up to the chest, the mid-spine. With each inhale, you lengthen. And with each exhale, you twist maybe a millimeter more. And exhale, start to release. And send that leg long. And we'll come to our seated tree on the other side. So left knee opens up, foot to the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen up through the chest. So you draw that left knee down towards the mat. And then exhale, start to fold over the leg. Not pressing yourself too far. So noticing when you first feel that tension, that stretch in the leg or in the back or wherever you feel it. Staying there for a moment, pausing and breathing into those spaces. And then maybe after a couple breaths, you start to fold down in a little deeper. And staying with that rise and fall of the breath. Inhale, start to lift your gaze. Take a look at the toes. Lift the chest, the upper body, press into the hands all the way back up to seated. And bring that knee back in. And then step the foot over the right thigh. Inhale, lengthen up. Chest towards the knee. Exhale, left hand behind the back. Draw the belly in. Start your twist there. Keep twisting from that belly. Right arm hooks around the leg. Bringing that twist up the spine. Up to the shoulders and the chest. And keeping that right leg anchored. Feeling the belly expand as you inhale. And feeling it hug in and massage and nourish those organs as you exhale. And release, come back to center. Good. Feet to the mat, knees are bent. Bring the hands behind the back, so fingertips point towards the hips. Or if this is too much on your wrist, you can point the fingers back. So it's up to you. Press into the feet. We're coming into a reverse tabletop. So draw those shoulders back, open the chest. Right now, start pressing into the thumbs, into that inner part of the hands and the arms. And then inhale, lift up through the hips, lengthen the knees forward. Keep pressing and lifting. Really stretching out the inner arms. Press into the feet, draw the belly in. Another inhale. And exhale back down to the mat. Good. Walk those or send the hips towards the heels. And we're going to lower down onto our backs. So both feet on the mat. Just start to really lengthen the spine. Feel the spine as it presses into the mat. And then press up through the right heel. Send it up to the sky. Long leg. Walk the hands up that leg. Maybe walk up to the calf, or maybe you stay here at the thigh. Just start to breathe into the back of the leg. Keeping the shoulder blades nice and cozy and grounded onto the mat. And start to release. We're going to open that knee out to the side. Bring the right ankle to the left thigh. So coming into a little figure 4 shape here of the legs. So keep letting that right knee drop out. And if this feels enough on the right hip, then you can stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you flex that right foot. So by flexing that foot, we're protecting the joint of the knee. And then reach through the legs for the back of that left thigh and start to hug it in just a little bit deeper. And the closer you bring the knee, the more intense this gets on the right hip. So honoring your body, honoring what you feel, coming out if you need to come out, going deeper, if your body feels that it can go deeper. And really use the breath here. Use the breath to release some of that tension. Focusing on your inhales and exhales. The calmer the breath gets, the calmer the body gets, and then maybe centimeter by centimeter, you go in just a little bit deeper. Start to release, bringing that left foot back to the mat. Right leg, send it high. Keep pressing through the heel. Lengthen that leg all the way down to flat on the mat. Left hand on the left hip, right arm overhead. And your right arm can either be long or it can be in a goal post. So elbow bent out to the side. And just breathe into that openness of the right side of the body. And from the toes to the hips, to the shoulder, to the right nostril. And then release, bringing both feet back to the mat. Left leg, send it long up to the sky. And then just stretching into that leg by walking the hands up Just drawing it in. And start to release, cross that ankle over to the right thigh. Let the left knee drop out to the side and check in here. Take a breath. Notice how that left hip feels. You can go a little deeper. Keep that left foot flexed. Reach behind the right thigh. Sending the breath to the left hip socket. Thinking about what it's doing here. What shape are you making? What is that femur, that thigh bone doing in that joint? And bringing in some body awareness. Notice anytime you start to hold the breath or grip, and stay soft. And releasing that left foot back down to the mat. Or that right foot, send the left leg high up to the sky. And then with the heel, let it lower all the way down to the mat. Right hand, right hip, left arm overhead. Or goalpost. And taking a full, spacious breath, honoring the left side. Good. Start to hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. You can rock from side to side a little bit, massaging the spine. And giving yourself some love. And then releasing down. So we're going to come lying flat on the mat. Send the heels towards the corners of your mat. The shoulders tuck underneath the body, palms facing up. This is most comfortable for the arms. So just allow yourself to take up space on your mat. And let your body sink down in. Let it be held and supported here. Take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth. And keep doing a few more of those until you start to feel a little bit more settled. Softening the muscles of the face, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw. And releasing the neck, the chest, feeling your heart as it beats. And softening the belly, the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, ankles, feet and hands. This is a place for healing and for re-energizing. allowing yourself this peace and this stillness as it washes over you and nourishes you.